Hi, my name is Autumn Burnett, and this is my high quality connection assignment. I have on the agenda, I'm going to touch on a couple different parts of how I built the high quality connection. First is the problem. Then I'm going to go into why is this a problem, the high quality connection that I did design, the experiment, and then the reflection. So the problem that I was having is when I was working with clients, I always felt that they had a mistrust in me working with their appointments, or they were judging what I was doing harshly. I felt as if they did not appreciate the hard work I put into their appointment either, and this started to really affect my work. Why is this a problem? I became very discouraged. I would rush through appointments. There were negative interactions with clients, meaning I wasn't getting any positive feedback. I wasn't receiving any feedback or any thank yous or anything from the clients, like several of my other coworkers were receiving. That led to me feeling very disappointed. I started to kind of slack off at what I was doing at work just because I felt like no matter what I was doing, it wasn't working. So the change that I made with the high quality connection is I went up to my supervisor. She is our technician supervisor. She is really good with clients and working with people. And I spoke to her on ways I can better connect with the clients to help them trust me with their appointments. The advice she gave was very helpful. She told me to try and build a connection with the client, not the appointment. So she told me tips on how to do that is to ask the client about themselves. Yes, they are there for their pet, but we also need to make them feel comfortable and make them feel like we are working with them and not just their pet. And I felt that that really did apply to me. I felt that I was more focused on the pet than actually building a connection with the client. She told me to just ask about themselves, ask how they're doing, and maybe when they bring up a story of their pet or a story of something that happened, just engage and don't try to just go point to point with the appointment. She also told me to be myself because I was trying to be very professional and just not engage with them. But she told me, professionally be yourself. She also told me to listen to the clients, even if they were going on about a rant on something that happened at home or their pets. She said to just be a listening ear and listen to them because sometimes they just want to vent about anything about their lives. So I really did take this and I thought about a few different ways that I could start applying some of this advice to build high quality connections with clients. So next comes the experiment. So the experiment that I did was I went into each room and started greeting the clients. I asked how they were. I talked to them as we walked into the room. So I would go up and say, Fluffy, I would call for the pet. They would come up and I would be like, how are you doing today, ma'am? And I would start having small conversations as we were walking from the scale and weighing their pet and going into the room. In the appointment, I started to ask open-ended questions about their pets. I found that then it left more room for the clients to give me answers, to elaborate on things, to even tell me personal stories. I also then started to find that I was relating with these clients as they started to tell me stories. I would then relate with them and tell them stories of my pets or stories of things that I do at home. And I just engaged with their conversations and their stories to help make them feel as if, I was talking to them and focusing on them while also focusing on their pet. There was actually some positive feedback that I did receive from my supervisor that was told to her by a receptionist that I did have a client in the room. His name is Mr. Miller. He did go up and say that the technician that he had today really went out of the way to ensure that he got the best care for Bella. She made us feel comfortable with leaving her in their care. Bella was a very sick patient that needed to be hospitalized, and we did keep her. And I helped make him feel comfortable. I was telling him that I would treat her as if she was my baby, and I just kept an open communication and really tried my hardest in engaging with him while we were in the room, over the phone calls for updates, and even at the time of discharge. The reflection, so the outcome was that it did start to make the clients trust me. They started to trust me. They actually started to listen to what I was saying rather than listening, but it going out the other ear. It made their visit more positive. I found that not only did I feel more positive about the visit, but I was actually receiving good feedback. It also made me feel empowered and more engaging with the appointment. It started to make me feel like, okay, I am doing something right now. I felt closer with the clients, and I felt confident in myself and the care that I provided for them. I also felt that I made deeper connections with each appointment. I did have some people call and only want to talk to me on the phone for advice on their pet. I then started later that week. I had people requesting to only see me. It was it really made me feel more confident, like I was doing something right. I plan to apply this high quality connection module to other aspects of my life. I want to respectfully start engaging in other conversations. So whether that's with my family members or that's with people that I have just met, I just want to start engaging in conversations to really open myself up and get people to know me. Also, I feel that positive energy equals positive outcomes. So as long as you go in there and you make a connection and you try, even if you're grasping at straws to make a connection with an angry client, if you try, you can turn them around. I did have an appointment that same week when I was conducting my experiment that she usually typically comes in and she's typically not the nicest of clients, and I grasped at a few straws and made a few connections with what she was telling me, and by the end she was joking around with me in the room. We were laughing, and she now wants me to be her designated technician for her appointments. So I felt that giving that positive energy, even if a client is having a bad day, will equal for a positive outcome both on my end and on their end. So overall, I feel that this has helped me strengthen my working abilities, and I plan to use it in different aspects of my life as well to help strengthen relationships and other situations that I am in.